to that point of how the shift will persist beyond the next month or two, as we're still kind of swirling around in this chaotic change, how do you envision, if you had a crystal ball, as to like the first steps of, the new tentative steps into whatever our new reality will look like?
Oh, I wish I had a crystal ball.
Don't we all?
The new reality of work, of what's going on. Again, I can offer some of the things I think. First of all, and maybe this is good that I'm the token European here. I'm American, as you can probably tell from my accent, born and raised. But now more than half of my career and life has been outside the States, in Asia and Europe. And I would say, at least in Europe, this idea of like work-life integration, or the lack of work-life separation and balance that drives many parts of the US, particularly Silicon Valley, where you are, Dave, and definitely parts of Asia. I mean, that doesn't exist here. There's a much stronger separation, almost a humanity. I think we've lost it. Like, our work is our lives in the US and certain other parts of the world. So I wanted to make that point first. The second is this kind of integration or what might happen. As they say, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And I wrote an article recently also too about how constraints, we tend to think of them as boxing us in, but constraints often set us free. And what I mean by that is you have to do things differently. So it gives you license. And you can see this, right? Everyone is able to now, not everyone, let's more focus on white collar, but people are working at home, working remote. So suddenly, hey, does working remote work? They're able to spend more time with their kids or manage their own schedules. Now, that's been in place for a while, particularly in certain companies like tech, but it forced almost everyone to move to it more quickly. And there's good evidence that, people who have more autonomy or working on their own decisions do better. And so HR departments and companies never did it, but this suddenly forced them to. And so I have some hope that maybe that's opening people's eyes to, work life, how we get, more humanity or freedom for people. That won't be possible in every industry, but I think it's given us a big push forward. I think too, and this talks to a larger subject, is, we got a big situation in the States. There's growing inequality. There's deep set problems. And if you look at U.S. history, every 80 years is due for a systemic change. And hey, we're about 80 years from the last one. So I think some of those things will occur. And people are also, this importance, the pandemic just brings it up, is the importance of health. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we possibly bring our best to work? And, if you're not healthy, that has a huge drag on workplace, stress and the bottom line. It hasn't necessarily been quantified, but we talk about these things that make companies inefficient. Stress, inability to take care of your kids because you're at work, you're doing long hours, you're not with them, you're outsourcing everything. Not healthy. So these things may lead to a correction. How it eventually turns up, we will have to see.